going to be playing up an Icebox, a map that they haven't played all too much, but Bind coming up first and might actually be switching things up from what we're used to. They have been playing Sky a little bit more, and they're actually going to maintain that.
Okay, so this is not necessarily a big question mark, because TSM in the past, they've definitely been shuffling with the idea of Cutler on Sky and Sova. Recently, they were playing Cutler on Sova, and then I think a lot of people might remember back when they first started playing Bind, Hayes was playing the Brimstone. I think in the very start of the very start of the second open qualifiers. But here they've swapped it out. I think they realized that double smokes, while it does kind of make sense, you can do a lot of fakes on Bind, not the most beneficial on the defensive side.
Certainly not, but this time they're actually changing things up with the KJ pick. This is new for them on Bind.
Yeah, Bind is a map where you can go back and forth, I feel like, between Cypher and Killjoy. This is definitely an experimentation for TSM again, right? In these early stages, you can always test out your new comps. We saw that with the double controller, obviously. So Hayes going to Killjoy. I imagine they're going to be playing a little bit more passive on the defensive side, I want to think. But then LGI, they come in with a breach, which can be brutal against the Killjoy going into executions.
But I just want to say this straight up. This team of TSM in the past 3 months, they just haven't played any Sentinels on site. Like, they do have the Brim laying around, but they haven't played nor Cypher nor KJ. So this in itself is already a surprise.
Yeah, I'm super curious to see what TSM. Everyone knows them as the triple duelist lineup, and then they come in double controller, double initiator on Ascent. So what changes have TSM made? Because it's been very clear, at least to the general public, that TSM have definitely needed to make changes. Overall, they've been a very strong team, right? It hasn't necessarily been like they're getting washed over in that game against Gen G. It was still a competitive match. So what do they have in store for us, given the week period that they've had to reset, practice, and think of new ideas to go again in the third open qualifier? Well, like we said, they bring in the Killjoy onto Hayes. They swap him out off of the Brimstone. So big news, at least for their side. But LGI, is this really going to be enough? The slight change that TSM have for LGI to upset? I don't think so, Gus, but we're headed into the pistol round.
Yes, sir. They're running single duelist. They even have the breach in the back. Heavy flash control at this point. They have the paranoia. Triple coming up on the breach, too. Does look like they're going for a little bit of an A push already. Out from the bathroom side, Wardell has the cross up, but he's not able to hit his shots. Still, you have Subrosa with a cross up, getting a couple shots in, but Secrets takes it back. But look at the damage done. Wardell can clean up a little bit. There's a player in U-Haul, though. Danny Steele up front, able to get a burst on. The right clicks work. TSM down to a man disadvantage.
They were hoping to hold on to this U-Haul control, but LGI, they leave one late lurk over towards A short, and they're able to take it back. But Gus, you talked about that damage. That nade could be catastrophic as Drone clears out the U-Haul. It's back to a 3-on-3 with Thumbs trying to contest heavily now into U-Haul.
That's gotta be it, right? Hydra with a double. Hayes now in a 1v2. Last two players now for LGI. Lit up in a sense. Has to just get a body shot, but Snake! Slick ol' wide swing. Who would have thunk it, folks? It's LGI with a lead over Team Solo Mid.
Really good exit as well. I mean, to take that showers control, you saw in the early rounds at TSM, they fought for early long control, but when you don't have that showers, those rotations are going to take quite some time. And this overcommitment, I think in particular from Subrosa, right? He swings out while Wardell is kind of just sitting back in U-Haul. They get a whole lot of damage, and then Wardell gets caught unaware because his teammate Subrosa goes down. So LGI, they capitalize off of really a small mistake from TSM, and going forward, you don't expect too much from the guns that TSM have. However, eco rounds are always deadly in these boys' hands, so we'll see if they've got LGI once more attempting another shower stake. It is once more again Subrosa and Wardell, but it's Subrosa with the kill on the Sheriff to kick things off.
Yeah, fade away. They fight for orb, and they're already out of there. They just wanted that first contact, see if they could actually get a frag back, but again, Subrosa completely shutting it down with a very tight angle. Sully, this is officially the first game on stream with the new patch too.
True.
Nerf things a little bit in terms of the frenzy, but we already saw that pop off. In terms of round number 1, Subrosa
not spotted.
evading the owl drone, and Wardell, he's not gonna get hit by the paranoia, but instead Lug Lumpy still gets the frag back. Subrosa, good trigger discipline, gonna be able to get the frag back, has the Spectre in his hands, flash out, wide swing, nobody caught. Lug Lumpy still with another frag back. 2v2, it's Cutler and Subrosa trying to make some space, trying to isolate, but at this point they do have a good conservative setup. It's just Hydro looking over towards site. They do have eyes on U-Haul, but looks like both players from TSM are just trying to make their way on directly. Cutler with a full smoke up. Is a little bit scared at this point. Shock dart in. Double shock dart. Not going to be able to hit the second. Hydro has the angle. Even the recon dart going to be able to reveal the other one. Hydro! 1v2! LGI! They have the second round conversion.
You were hoping that TSM were going to pick up that round. I mean, they were in such a prime position to do so. You were hoping maybe Wardell gets a little cheeky kill and you haul off the Bucky. Doesn't get much from it. You even mentioned the missed paranoia and the opportunity that presented itself right in front of Wardell. They couldn't get anything going. It came down to a 2v1 and a big play from Hydro to give LGI that second round conversion. Now TSM, they've managed their economy well enough and they've done enough damage to LGI where they're going to have a much stronger buy going to this one. It's LGI that are scraping together pistols and stingers, whatever they can to muster against TSM's full buy here. And well, with TSM's definite weapon advantage, you hope this round goes their way. Drone will find a lot off of that early boom, but he'll get a decent bit of information, but will ultimately have to concede that control. They've got double nanostorms leading up into the B site, so they're very adamant at maintaining this left side of site here, Gus.
It's a decent setup. Not only that, but that Sky is going to help out at least with Haze swings. That first contact with the turret won't go out, and he's going to get overwhelmed by Danny Steele, but Droney actually gets himself a lineup. Gets a double. Hydro Snake still fragging back. Good stuff from Snake. And even then, only one man remaining.
This is super
none other
winnable.
than Hydro with Spike at least isolated. You call it winnable, but again, we've already seen it from Hydro before. This time he only has a Spectre in his hands. Sabrosa does have the timing over towards long. Good shoulder peaks, and it's disciplined. He's already out of there. Just has to wait for Hydro to take his time up. They have eyes everywhere.
30 seconds left.
They're not holding
Crossfire in
across
that
though.
same spot.
Not necessarily a crossfire. I mean, yeah.
No, not anymore.
Drone can easily swing back. Oh, if Hydro could have gotten the kill on a Sabrosa, definitely could have isolated the second 1v1. Good positions held by TSM, but still very scrappy given the guns that LGI had. They didn't have anything better than a Spectre going into that one, so I don't think they're going to be too disappointed with that round. They'll want us to be pretty happy with it. So TSM, they do suffer heavy consequences economically, and LGI, big round coming up for them to reset TSM and possibly take the round back. Now, what are these flying orbs? Have these ever been here? I don't think they've ever been here.
Oh, man.
I want to think it's in relation to the new agent, but I'm not going to say it.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw like the notes earlier, like Reyna question mark, but like it's not. Like, yeah, no clue. Riot loves to tease. LGI teasing at least with a little bit of a confident 2 rounds, but again with a buyback from TSM, their economy is reeling a little bit too. LGI, they now have the Rolling Thunder with everyone in long except for one. This could be a quick take, Sully.
Yeah, so now TSM, they've got all the info. You saw Sabrosa get deep in his showers, get all this control. That allows Drone to make that rotation, and they're expecting now the Rolling Thunder, I'd imagine here, right? 2 nanostorms to at least help Hazed in this position. Drone still behind as the Raze. He can easily blast back in and do so much damage, but there goes the Rolling Thunder. It'll only hit one in the back sight. I think Drone might have been affected as well, and Danny Steele up close. Cutler with the timing, but the swing isn't good enough.
Wow.
Now they've got to play retake as the spike will go down, and they are so out of position, TSM.
So unfortunate for Cutler, but LGI with a 2-man advantage off the post plant. Looking at how they're playing it. Just 1 in each extremity and 3 on site.
Wow.
It is going to be the Hunter's Fury from Secrets, and it hits on target already. The dash not going to hit. Well put on, but now Drone trying to attack. Flash shot from Tin Can, still trying to execute. Lug Lumpy does have the cross up. Sabrosa goes down. The shock dart's not hitting. Still a showstopper onto Drone.
No way.
Secrets 28 HP. Then he gets the kill back. Wardell 1v4. The best thing that this man can do is save LGI. They win a rifle round against TSM.
That is massive from LGI. Insane execution. I mean, it was so predictable from them as well. I thought TSM surely had some kind of contingency, right? But Drone gets stunned in the back, and he can't do anything to help. Hazed in the middle of the site. LGI, they take full advantage, using their ultimates to the utmost capacity that they can. And I mean, they steal a run off TSM. This timing for Cutler is just so unfortunate because he could have gotten so much off of that.
Good.
Flashes like 3 players there, but can't find anything. So now TSM, Wardell being the only one saving a rifle. He does have the Blade Storm online, so I'm curious to see if he'll toss the rifle on over. It doesn't look like it. So LGI, 3-1 start. TSM definitely be hoping to do a little bit more in this one, right? Just pull guns out of their hands. Subrosa's been contesting showers. This is tricky as he's gone down already to Snake.
We're being told by your producers that LGI stands for let's get it. Let's get it then. Let's get this dub, boys. TSM up against the ropes against a team like LGI who have only played a singular official game together. Mounting on a couple of rounds and now mounting on a take. Triple util over in U-Haul. This is a pure minefield if Lug Lumpy actually wants to go for this one, but actually stuff from Snake. Well, he's clearing up some space, but whoa, Cutler and Hayes, they both lose out their battles. But now it's Drone in a 1v5. Already took down one, has a couple of lineups, able to get another one, but it's just a crack in the armor at this point. LGI, more than enough cash to reinvest, and they get themselves a 4th.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it is right now. TSM kind of getting walked over. Obviously, it is very early days. This was definitely just an eco. But even then, in that rifle round in particular, TSM had essentially all the information. It's really LGI. I think the main rounds that they've won have been either an eco against TSM, or they've been really using ults to try and get into the site. So I wouldn't be too worried just yet over TSM, right? It's not that LGI are absolutely dominating them and crushing TSM right now. It's that TSM, they're still trying to adapt to the LGI style. I mean, give it like the 7th round where they haven't adapted and LGI are up 6-1, then we've got some issues. But Wardell, we get a bit of information. This time LGI playing a little bit more of a default, and TSM not pushing too many extremities as they really only maintain hookah at the moment. That bird from Cutler's not going to get much info either, as Secrets isn't even taking that peek.
Yeah, usually when you see a game like this, I'm inclined to say the word puggy, but LGI is actually looking really organized at the moment. I do like these takes on, but I at least like the early round formations. Yeah. At least in terms of trade potential, they know that Bathroom isn't exactly a hotly contested area. They know that Subrosa is still around.
Yeah, I think it's mainly because they've punished Subrosa in the past. I mean, Subrosa hasn't been able to get much value out of showers at all, so they can take this for free. And now they're knocking on the doorstep with one late lurk.
That turn in a weird position too, but in we go. Danny Steele already with a pick back. Wardell fishing, but not going to find anything in short. Instead now, Subrosa still sticking around sight. Spike isn't around. They were still looking for that rotation back. They do have a rotation cam, but even then, Subrosa with a paranoia trying to clear up space, but Lug Lumpy takes him back. Drone sticking around in hookah, but it's only a singular man around. Wardell does at least get the frag back, but Secrets with a trade. 2v2 play will be able to go down.
Oh, look at this early advantage as well, up in top of heaven. Cutler, I think, has read it, though. He realized he heard the sound cue, but he gets nothing from it. Huge fluff from Cutler, and Drone left in a clutch. This is immaculate from LGI. They set up a fake off of the cabbages, off of the Seekers, apologies, and double fake back to B to draw the Seekers away, and then they come back to A. This is so smart, and now they've got an advantage.
Oh, I was about to say they have no idea he's here, but that's wonderful. Drone now in a 1v2. They already have the info that he's on site. Just has to stick it a little bit. Gonna be able to go down to half.
He might stick it all the way.
Now there you go, but there goes the swing from the back. Drone still has a showstopper. 2 players around, double swing. And Secrets has a 3K. Planned it out, pick by pick. That is fundamental Valorant in that round, and I don't know what to tell you. TSM, they might just be getting, at least in that take alone, they got overwhelmed.
That is honestly a huge outplay from LGI. So there was one main thing that happened. So the Seekers, they kind of got stuck in hookah. They were kind of dancing back and forth between going through spawn or going through mid. So what LGI did is they rotated 2 players back to where I think it was Hydro, where he was sitting down by Market, and that drew 2 Seekers back towards the B side. So then an overcommitment, I think in particular from Drone to rotate back, huge overplay from LGI to give them the 5th. But it's 4 ults for both sides, and TSM have some of their most important ones lined up, and LGI are taking things extremely slow. They have disciplined TSM early on and have given themselves a lot of room to work with now.
And just thinking frag-wise again, if Secret doesn't go for that ballsy peak, I mean, that would have been it, right? TSM would have been able to take that one back, easy peasy. But, well, folks, we're already moving on to the next one. And Wardell, the knives, the right click, it doesn't connect. Still in U-Haul, they want to take up that control. They're executing around 3 players towards that area. They have a lot of util towards site. They are going for a plant, but they want to stick off of it just in case a player from TSM actually wants to peek out through the smokes. Good tight angle from Drone, but in goes the wide rotation. There you go, Hayes. Love that. Hayes sticks around. Same thing with Sobroza. Now they can pop off as LGI down to a man disadvantage. Now they just start to hound.
Yeah, they caught Wardell in that TP as well, so they're going to slow things down. Plenty of time to work things out. Sobroza's going to take a more advantageous position to cut off rotations back to A through the TP, but LGI once more playing a double fake. That Trailblazer's going to get deep into U-Haul, but won't peer into short. So TSM have to make this gamble. 2-2 split. LGI have done this extremely well. You split this defense where you now have a more advantageous position. They're looking for the 2v2, and now it's a 2v1 here on the A site, Gus. Spike can go down relatively freely here if Drone had not gone for the swing. TSM up the eco will finally be able to net themselves a second round, and LGI, they got to stay alive after time here. Drone's still looking for blood.
Yeah, that round was all about the timing. LGI, they try to make their approach over towards the A site, but that's actually one thing that we've been seeing a whole lot from them is an overstack of util, overstack of the smokes. It's between the dark cover and the cages that they keep placing up in the same area. It's a decent idea, but it's just overdoing it in a sense. They actually overwhelmed themselves on site to the point where they actually might have gotten a little bit paranoid. May have been a fake plant too, may have been premeditated, but still LGI, they had their chance early on to take more control and they might have just overwhelmed themselves.
Recon Bolt actually doesn't get a lot of info. They could still be one in Octagon, so that's why they're going to use extra utility to clear things out now. A couple posted up in hookah. Crossfire between Cutler and Drone as the Drone starts to clear things out as secrets. And once more, you have Hydro on that late lurk. Wardell's got a very big position. They know exactly where this hit's coming from. And if they want to take the TP, Wardell will be 100% ready for this play. And I think that's what LGI are thinking. So far, the name of the game and what's given them the round so far is fake out TSM, draw rotations, and then rotate back to the other side. So an early dash up from Danny Seal. He gets caught up by Cutler, however. And yeah, this is maybe a call for LGI to make that rotation. But TSM, they're anticipating the TP play right now. They're ready for it if it comes.
I know, but Cutler gonna peek out a little bit early on, but
no,
still Hydro! Okay, still gonna win the battle against Drone. In comes Hayes, but Hydro wins it again. How is Hydro the one to win that out? Lockdown goes down to the Hunter's Fury. Lug Lumpy overwhelms Sobroza off the peak. Wardell now in a 1v4. Can take it frag by frag. Let's see what happens. Plant still hasn't gone down, but it's about to. Wardell is gonna attempt this. The rest of his team's cash purely in shambles. Timing off of an elbow peak could be pivotal.
Close.
Wardell doesn't know it, but that was close. Again, just trying any sort of luck in his hands, and at this point, just looking for some sort of early contact just for him to make his way through. But look how conservative LGI is playing this Sully.
Yeah, they know they don't have to take any peeks because it is an operator from Wardell. They know he doesn't have any knives. And from the shots they've heard, he's still stuck to the operator. So now that he's been revealed, he needs to get out of there. Can't do much about that one. Wardell was hoping that he could get something going, but LGI, single flash, I think in particular, from the back of Hookah forces Wardell to spend even more time being cautious in case Hydro wants to swing again. Speaking of Hydro, Goes massive in that one. Big 3K, the double clearance in Hookah as well. I mean, if he hadn't gotten those kills, you would have expected LGI to cancel and finally make that rotation. But Hydro, he comes up so clutch in this position. It's unbelievable.
And again, how is Hydro the one to get
win
the
that
kill there?
fight?
Oh, that's insane to me. The fact that he even had an eye in that situation. I mean, yeah, I mean that's an angle from Hookah for sure. But there was also Hunter's Fury in the middle there. Like, I don't know. My eyes couldn't take that one for sure. But LGI certainly at least taking up an even half here on the attacker's side, but still a whole lot more work to do. TSM with a little bit more of a scattered buy this round. Is this the right move, Sully?
Well, in this circumstance, it's like you kind of have to. You need to at least like maybe 1 or 2 rifles here or there to win out a round. Snake only 1 kill now off the Rolling Thunder. You still have that Wardell operator, so this could be very game changer. Drone as well on a Vandal, and they've stacked the right site. They've got info out towards long, but LGI are revealing nothing from their hand. No one is peered in towards Hookah and spotted these 2 players out. So LGI playing this deprivation information game. A TP into Octagon to reveal 2 players. Now they know they need to play this position for the retake. They do have a breach flash to go in, which it looks like is already posted up here to take Octagon. LGI have a really good setup. Wardell misses the shot. Cutler's there to pick things up, but trades go back, and LGI, they're storming the site now, but TSM are putting up one heck of a fight so far.
Oh, and it's Wardell holding things down too. Good old double.
30 seconds
That's what
left.
you expect, but this time it was a little bit more, I guess I could say, clear cut of a take from LGI too. Split between B, double long, double hookah. It's not exactly that insane to take on, but Hydro, he's been going nuts in the last couple of rounds, and now he has an opportunity to really spread his wings. Still has to clear this awkward bathroom angle, which is now green box.
Oh my gosh.
Hydro catches up one, and okay. The isolation. The movement. I see you, Hydro. But it's still going to be Sabrosa with a trade back. There's barely any time. TSM definitely going to be able to win out the round, but cool to see Hydro still actually fragging. This guy has 12 kills in the server.
If there was a person off of LGI to win that round, I would bet money Hydro could have won it there. 1v4, like you said, Isolate's really good 1v1s, and TSM, it's a big round for them because it would have put LGI in a guaranteed lead going into the second half on their map pick. Still, it's a strong one for TSM, but good op movement from Wardell in particular. Really good at shutting down the early engagements out towards B. And now LGI, they know they're up against a full buy in Wardell. This is the name for TSM. They realize LGI are just taking space for free, and they're going to take some back. Wardell with an early peak. And they know that there's nobody out towards the B long position. And with Wardell's positioning, they can gamble these rotations, right? Because they can't take that fast TP into the B site. They're going to have to commit a whole lot here. And Wardell will be paranoid off the angle. And the exit comes in. Danny Steele in the back. But LGI are starting to fall apart at the seams as the push has been canceled already.
Snake still getting pressured out. Drone gets spot. Not only that, but you mentioned the Seekers, Sully. Still one going over towards the bathrooms area. Snake is still around. Hydro, same thing. Over in short, still trying to fight. You still have the trips in mid. It's at least decent for the lurk that TSM had actually pulled in the last round. I don't think they actually knew that, but it's still pretty decent. Still just about 30 seconds left. There's really nothing that LGI can do at this point other than just to wait up for a couple of picks, which TSM, they're actually fishing up a little bit in terms of angles, but otherwise, staying pretty conservative, staying pretty disciplined, especially with the insurance policy over towards long.
Yeah, TSM, they really can't afford to give up any more kills, economically speaking, because they haven't necessarily been the most financially stable. So it's key that they keep as many players alive. You let LGI get away with these guns, but at least you hold on to 4. That's the big thing. The risk and the reward, maybe not too worth it. Sabrosa, well, there's the risk, and now you've been punished for it. So only 3 rifles walked away here by TSM. Still not too shabby. Now, had Cutler gone down, that would have been a different story, but he does pick back up the operator forward down the neck. So the risk there is a lot more worth it in the event of Sabrosa going for that peak. So LGI, 2 players only get 1,000 credits from that round. They're going to be in a little bit of a shaky state, but they do still have some ultimates. That Rolling Thunder can be big if they want to use it for save it for the last round of this half. But TSM,
right,
this time around, will definitely have some credits back in them if they end up dropping this one.
It looks like a technical pause now for one of the players from or tactical, excuse me, tactical. From LGI. I mean, I just keep going through the motions, Sully. I mean, to see such a team that doesn't exactly have that professional experience actually going for a tactical pause like this to really actually take their time, maybe reset mental, talk about their take. I mean, that's a regular veteran move.
I would
see teams take.
I would say it makes
crazy.
sense for LGI at this particular point because you're in a winnable position and you need to maximize the rounds you get on the defense, or apologies, on the attack. So if you can get away 7 or 8 here, this is all of a sudden possibly 3 maps on the cards for LGI. Now I say that they could have the craziest strat book in Icebox that we've never seen before, just because they've never played Icebox. They only played once against the Pittsburgh Knights in the second open qualifier, so this is as unknown as it gets. Sabrosa's going to try and challenge. The Owl Drone will force him off just a little bit, but there isn't really much they can do to punish him now. He's running out of bullets here, so he's going to have to back away for now, regroup with the rest of his team. And with that pressure from LGI, it won't shift many players over towards the B side as Sabrosa fully flashed. Where's the kill? 2 players get flashed. Danny Steele goes down to his own teammates' flash points. And we're back to a 4-on-4, but rifles have been picked up now for LGI.
Still decent opening. They went out the battle for the orb. That's going to be big going into the last round.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Of course, we still have to pay attention to this one because they're still hazed up in Hookah. He's been playing around these more upwards position in terms of first contact on B off of LGI's first showing on A. But he does pivot on back. He does have turret in that headshot position in the back of Tin Can. Not only that, but actually Nano Swarm and Alarm Bot over towards the long position, so it has things relatively down. Same thing with, if I'm not mistaken, Hayes still around site. Should be definitely a little bit tougher for this team to make it through. Excuse me, it's actually Color on the sky, but the Rolling Thunder actually used. It's a bold strategy to say the least, but with 17 seconds left, certainly running out of time. They're going to burst out. There's already 3 players for TSM around. Secret Death takes one back. Cutler looking for another one. Barely any time, but they're still going to be able to get the bomb plant down. And not only that, but Wardell on his way back. 150 dashes into Tin Can. There's one incoming. Going to be able to get the first. Not only that, but a player over towards long. He's still searching. Has the up for the cross up. Doesn't get the kill. 75 HP left. Still could try to find that second one. But Hunter's Fury now, Sully. Oh, but Wardell's already off. He's delaying so much time now, but it's already canceled. Good move. Secrets. That's unreal. The Hunter's Fury doesn't find anything off the first tick. He cancels it, and he goes for the 1v1, and he wins against Wardell.
One of the most important 1v1s that we've had in this first map, in this first half in general, because look what it's done now to TSM. I said they were decent on their economy, but clearly I was wrong. They're not going to be able to suffice the strong fight that they had in the last, and LGI have posted themselves for a possible 8th round now. They used 2 of their major ults though, Gus. They used that Rolling Thunder and Hunter's Fury all to win out that 1 round. But same thing for TSM. They've committed so many ultimates, and it's bare bones for both of these sides here. Ult orbs will mean almost nothing unless you can accompany them with kills here. But Wardell, he's looking for something. He's on the prowl and he's on the hunt. Look at this positioning. We'll go for the Showers flank, and this timing could be everything. No way LGI are going to expect this kind of play.
This is what they did earlier. TSM, they've been having decent short potential, but they never ever actually committed to it.
Now look,
still going for it, and Wardell still gets a kill back, and there you go. Sabrosa, cheeky position. It's gonna be cheesy strats like that that can certainly at least take the edge over a team like LGI. Maybe pugging out a couple of these rounds more than optimal. So Sully, at least a little bit more breathing room for TSM, but they're still down going into the second half.
Yeah, TSM, it's still 5-7, and that's on probably the favored side of Bind. So it's going to need to be a huge pickup. LGI are really strong performance in this attacking half. They look really clean, but like we said, TSM, you give them 5 or 6 rounds, and once we hit that 7th round mark and maybe they still haven't adapted, you get worried. But when they hit that 7th round, they finally adapted. Then it became 6-2, 6-3, and then out of nowhere, LGI picked up a big round. So TSM, they keep things definitely competitive, and that's weird to say because TSM are the overdogs. Now LGI, can they do the same thing here on the defense? Like you said, Frenzy meta, a little bit out of it nowadays. Well, look at this setup LGI. It's cheeky plays like this, like you said, that'll catch this team off guard. Oh, wow.
Okay. I've been missed out on a one-way, but even then, they still went in. Wardell no punish, and not only that, but hazed. So wants to stay back a little bit more disciplined, at least with the turret back towards the spawn area. Again, a little bit weirder of a spot, but even then it gets that first contact. But LGI already with a very preemptive rotation, but it's going to be TSM with almost full control site.
Owl drone. They don't know that drone's even in this position right now. And surprisingly, they're thinking of backing away here. The spike, it will go down. Drone in the middle of tin can. It's now backed up for the default plant. Big fight from Hydro, though. That comes up big for them. He doesn't have a cam for this retake just yet.
Snake.
That's charging up, and Snake could get a big timing on Hayes, but kills. They're going all the way around. Now, Hayes, he has found the first in the 1v4, but they're already stuck. Like, this round is already over. Nothing you can do there if you're Hayes. TSM falling apart once more in the pistol round. I mean, it's the curse that TSM have had all champions long, or all VCT long, as they can't pick up the pistol, and they can't get it here either.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit of a rarity for them actually to be able to pick up the pistol, at least on this map very specifically. What I remember seeing, at least in terms of attacking side, they've only picked up 20% of the pistol rounds on the attacking side of Bind. So, I mean, it's not exactly efficient. It's not exactly their most optimal. Again, I could be wrong with that. I could be referencing another map for sure, but even then, it's just been the thing with the VCT overall that TSM, they just haven't put themselves in the most optimal positions to be able to fight out these pistol runs. And not only that, but LGI really played that well in terms of early contact, in terms of getting pretty good early information, only spotting out 2 players over towards that short rotation, and they actually did maintain a pretty even stack in that last round for what it was.
Hunting already from Danny Steele, down all the way around through the cavern. He's got all the info, and they can stack this B site really confidently. I think going into this one, they were going to be confident regardless. Going up against pistols here. TSM not electing to force, but Danny Steele with the timing. This is what Wardell tried to do towards Showers. Can Danny Steele be a little more successful here? 3 players grouped up. Oh, a great dash though from Wardell. An even better nade though. What is this from Wardell? Running and gunning, but here comes Danny Steele on the flank. He's got 2, and he's dashed away to give LGI back the advantage.
Hydro takes one back. Subrosa wants to fight Tin Can, but it doesn't work out in his favor. And the classic here to ring out true. Cutler gets one, but Danny Steele back with another one. That's the 2nd round conversion back for the boys of LGI. And going back to that stat line, I have actually confirmed this. It is actually a 40% win rate only on the attacking side in terms of pistol round. That is, again,
Still
that's just
that
shambles. It's not
better
great.
than 20%, but it's still not that. Still not that great.
It's double. It's double for sure. But no, TSM, I mean, you gotta just put it into perspective. What on earth is going on with this team right now? I mean, it's a best of 3. Thank God we're not talking about BO1s right now, but gosh, this is just all over the place.
Yeah, this is a really wonky map from TSM, because traditionally their best side is the defense. 66% win rate over the last 7 maps they've played in the VCT, and then a 60% win rate here on the attack. So currently 0-2, and do the math, that's 0% at the moment. So TSM, here's their chance to maybe make it 33 in the 3rd round on their attacking side. But again, Danny Steele on a huge flank. You don't see this too often, and Danny caught off guard. The timing not on his side. Sabrosa's caught the lurk, and now TSM, they're going to reposition off of that kill because they know the overcommitment is now on the A site here, but they're taking things slow to keep LGI grounded here on A.
It's a decent cross. Really just for the info. I don't really expect anything more than potentially a singular frag bump. Interested in this bounce from Secret. It actually does have a Bulldog. It's a little bit better than expected. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, really decent angle, but they were ready for it. Still some Rosa around, gonna be able to line up. That's wonderful. Could be able to get a 3rd. Lung Lumpy just doesn't care. Just runs on through. Hopefully training back none other than Sabrosa, but the good old 6-9 score line. TSM, at least with 1 back, at least maintaining their economy pretty clean, not letting these rounds slip by.
Yeah, they were not expecting to be in this position because TSM takes such a long time to get that rotation, and it doesn't really help that Secrets isn't taking a forward angle, right? That recon bolt was hoping to get some info, but like you said, TSM completely ready for it, and so they have no idea if anyone's pushing to the back site yet. So LGI, They will concede the third, but economy has definitely been on their side in recent times. Danny Steele is going to relax, try and pick up the knives off of the ult orb here, which we'll be able to get online. And TSM with no commitment to that B side. That's a free 5 rifle setup here for LGI here. And this could be a dangerous round as things are going very slow. Hydro with a good cam up top will get a lot of info and they won't have to take any early peeks. They can maintain U-Haul control relatively free without investing any utility there. And so TSM is a scattered approach here. 2 trips in the front as well will definitely delay and cause rotations for LGI to be a little bit quicker in that fashion.
Steal. It's all around that back line. Could have been a better pivot, but more importantly, it was at least the Hound trying to get a little bit of information. Nothing in the back. LGI going for a full retake against TSM. I mean, if there is anything to dictate the pace of the rest of this game, it has to be this. In we go. Danny Steele is about to say he has to be pivotal in terms of those first frags, but again, he just falls to Wardell. Not only that, but the crossfire is immaculate over in this area. Cutler going to be able to get a second. And, well, Hydra and Snake had no chance, didn't they? Just a 1-2 combo around Green Box and TSM. I mean, that's just clear-cut hope.
Yeah, you were hoping LGI maybe put a little more focus into U-Haul, because if you don't have that U-Haul control and you're coming from defender spawn, like we saw Drone kind of sitting and wavering in the back of U-Haul trying to catch players crossing out, it forces LGI to have to focus on 3-4 different angles, and that's super hard to do against TSM when they're holding extremely strong crossfires. So LGI get a little bit flustered in that back line. Now TSM, don't expect too much resistance from LGI here. And now things getting very close. We're at the 4th round now, and TSM have won 2 of them, so 50% so far, nearly at the 60. LGI with minimal guns to work with. It's a B hit here for TSM as the ult orb completely free. Smokes to try and delay, but LGI, they're not committed to this rotation. They're still expecting that maybe TSM want to take the TP, but that's not the case whatsoever. Cam is broken now. LGI with little to no info need to try and get early fights going in. Seekers go out. That'll keep Lug Lumpy in a really tricky position, forced into the open arms of Wardell. They've got the site, and LGI are going to try and attempt to do whatever they can on this retake.
Yeah, clinical take. Even then, Hayes still around the mid area, taking down Danny Steele, who tried to sneak his way through teleporter.
Spike planted.
Actually getting a little bit scared about potentially an early retake from LGI, but they ended up backing out of that idea. Wardell's still fighting this. He's pinged out, but Hydra actually gets the kill back onto Wardell. His frenzy is hot thus far. Still, we're getting a little bit of information in an early flash. Sub Rosa with a lineup. Only going to be able to get one. Still Snake. It's with a decent angle. These exits could be big for LGI if they can line them up, but it's only Hydra now over towards elbow. Cam up. Triple coverage TSM. They have an 8th.
Now within just one. Decent attempt. Only taking 2 players down, though. Ults nearing completion for TSM is the big thing. Hayes won off of the lockdown, but on the other side, LGI, the Hunters here and the Rolling Thunder, the 2 biggest ults for themselves, could come up huge. So I think we're going to see an early fight for the Showers ult orb from the side of LGI. 4 players stacked up early to the A side. This is an interesting setup here. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it as they leave just Hydro for this retake. They're really banking on the fact that they can get one of these ults charged up to play the retake, but it's going to be a fault line, I think a flashpoint to get this control, and it's completely free for LGI. TSM are not fighting whatsoever towards the A side. They're instead going to focus out towards long, and there are no ults charged here for LGI. They get none of the 2 big ones of the Hunter Seer and the Rolling Thunder, so the retake instantly becomes much, much harder now.
All they have is contact. These tripwires purely here to delay just a little bit of time. I do like this camp positioning, but LGI has to be very preemptive in terms of rotations. I do like the short control, but alarm butt up 2. It's actually beautiful from Hayes. Can I at least hold off a little bit? At least give off the illusion that they're around that area, but still TSM trying to make their way through the B side. Lug Lumpy still fighting in the back, actually going for a wide swing. Gets caught by Drone. Side is fully theirs, but elbow is about to get contested. There might actually be a gap in that smoke, but Hydro, at least scared away by the boom bot. Just about 40 seconds left. Spike will be able to go down, but still Secret's able to get one. over towards spawn of all things, but that's just because of the TP. It was a little bit cheeky to say the least. In it goes. It's a 2-2 formation, Sully. 2 going in towards elbow, 2 from main.
And I like the idea as well or you realize now that TSM in that position, Hayes always kept back by his utility and secrets. Hunter Siri now charged up off the kill. He gets onto Sabrosa, and that's where that split comes in because players were so out of position. They've now got to take 1v1s. Wardell's still in the back. You have Hayes holding, and Wardell's got to go big. And now it's on to Hayes. 1 versus 2. He's got the first. Nanoswarm onto the spike as well. Now that's enough time. Nothing Secrets can do, but TSM, they cut things way too close. The positioning that Hayes had to commit to, he had to wait for his alarm bot to go off. You talked about that alarm bot in short, but ultimately it forced a TP from Sabrosa. So next thing you know, you've got 2 players completely disconnected from the main attack, and TSM, they almost get punished because of that positioning.
The dominoes falling one by one, but TSM, they're the ones really building up a house of cards. Starting to fortify itself as we go through, because now LGI, they're starting to stutter a little bit in terms of their own economy and in terms of their own takes. We're starting to see that confidence that they had. Kind of the I did say that I wanted to evade saying the word pugger, but it was almost exactly that. The pugger mentality, just holding W, but I really can't speak, right? Lug Lumpy literally just holding W. You gotta be able to get 2. Same thing with Secrets, went back, but now TSM down to a 2v1. But again, Sully, this was pure eco. This was LGI just throwing bodies over towards the short area, and they were still able to win out a couple of trades. However,
this clutch is way too winnable.
Coming out towards short, and so Lockdown is in a really good position, but they're not actually going for the spike plant. They do have eyes over towards short, but Danny Steele has an op. Could be able to get a contact, but they're actually going for a backside plant.
So I'm thinking Danny is maybe anticipating a rotation back here, but in all reality, they've committed to this A site. So I think at this point, Danny, you can try to tempt it. He's picked up a Vandal over the operator that he had. And this makes things a little bit easier on the clutch now. He can isolate 1v1s. They're both so spread apart, but Sabrosa's crept through on the right side of that smoke. And this is a quick swing from Sabrosa. Wasn't prepared for that at all. Danny Steele, had he stuck around maybe a moment or longer, right? Maybe could have gone in the position a lot easier. It would have definitely been a lot more winnable. But LGI will, for the first time actually, drop the lead as TSM take it 10-9 now.
Oh, I can't believe we're 19 rounds into a game. I mean, that's just the magic of open qualifiers, isn't it?
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
Any team at any time. And it's LGI, isn't it? That really were able to go almost 20 rounds against TSM with the lead, but things getting a little bit rough. That flash had to go out a little bit earlier. Trying to fight for that long orb, but it ends up being a detriment. Good stuff from Wardell, at least, just watching over the cross instead of completely fighting. Still a couple players over towards Hookah. Lug Lumpy in a good position, but I think his smoke positioning, his smoke lineup actually ended up exposing it, but no, they didn't. They don't even pay attention to it. Secrets is here with a double. TSM down to a man disadvantage. Spike out in the open, but they're not exactly watching over it. They've abandoned the site, and they're playing a little bit, at least more towards the back.
Yeah, and all those heads swivel. As soon as Lug Lumpy makes that contact, 2 heads swing to his position, and Secrets chooses the perfect moment to swing, and Danny Steele does end up going down. It's a 1v2 here on the B site, as Hydra's going to make this rotation. Spike will go down. There's no util here to stop it. Now Wardell, what position do they elect to take? They've got a turret to watch the spike for the swing, but Wardell is the first man to take the duel. He's just going to check the flank just in case. And Wardell, this is a very tricky predicament, because if he goes down, Hayes is not in an optimal position to play this retake.
Oh, first contact. And taking up good stuff from Wardell. Definitely been a kill conversion, but he's on top. A Tin Can, still able to get one. Secrets had really good timing, but Secrets, so unfortunate. Wanted to blow up that nano swarm, still trying to find the frag. And, oh, there you go, Hazed. Still fights it up, got the lineup anyways. 11-9. TSM finally pushing away from LGI.
Yeah, great timing as well for Hazed on that. Doesn't set it up preemptively so that he can try and catch in that scenario Secrets off guard with that nanostorm. Buys him a couple of extra seconds, and that's all you really need. Now that is a missed shot from Danny Steele. You want that trade to go down, and think about it, if he did win that trade, LGI would have won this round. Hayes wouldn't have had the nanostorms. It would have been Wardell in a 1v2 clutch. So small things line up, and TSM now within 2 of taking this first map as LGI on a very scrappy buy. Stingers, they've recently been nerfed, an extra 100 credits. And the damage or the DPS is not as high as maybe you would have liked your LGI here. Early positioning, that tripwire don't think it really gives any sound cue to Hayes, so that position from Danny Steele is nullified. But it's TSM back to the B site. It's worked out so far. I would end it again.
Okay, awkward. Awkward positioning now, at least for a couple of players from LGI, but they're at least playing these positions with the SMG pretty optimally. One in the back. Okay, it's not actually the SMG. Snake as the sheriff, ready and rearing to go, takes down drone. Still the rotation from LGI going actually full from the defensive side, and the Seekers, they know all. Hydro still able to get one back onto Sabrosa. Good angle from Cutler. He's gonna get paranoid out. Same thing with Wardell. In comes Hydro. He isolates the 1v1. And okay, in we go again. Nano Swarm. Hydro needed it. Still has to blow up the turret. Just trying to find a headshot angle. Yet another Nano Swarm, and it's gonna blow up in a perfect spot. What is up with Hayes and these Nano Swarms? Being perfect off post plants time and time again. And now Hydro falling to the jump peak of Hayes. Hayes plays time so well. He's done it now for the 4th time in this map.
Again, so close though for LGI. They're just missing out on 1 or 2 huge kills. It's been 3 rounds in a row. It's happened. Danny Steele in the last, missing out on the chance onto Hayes to win the round entirely. And LGI, or Hydro there in particular, had so many chances to cut down Hayes. If he maybe landed one more shot on Hayes crossing back over to their left side of Hookah, has that round in the bag. Now TSM, one more round before they have the first map in the bag. And it will be LGI back on a full buy. 2 major ults, Hunter Siri and Rolling Thunder to boot. And TSM, I think maybe they're going to try and bait something out early. That Guiding Light will get no info, or at least reveal that there's nobody in showers. There is no chance of a retake. So TSM knocking on their door. It's Drone to go in with the blast back and the showstopper. And there's a chance to shut it down. 1-for-1 Danny Steele. And LGI now have got a huge advantage going forward into the retake possibly.
Possibly so, but it has to come up to Lug Lumpy at this point. Still pivoting around that U-Haul area. Hydro, there's nobody actually watching his crossover there, but he actually wants to fight for control of site. At least the cross up. Player in green box hasn't peeked out yet. Sabrosa, he's got to go, and there he is. He pops out into Hydro, but Secrets. That recon bolt actually drags Sabrosa away from his safe position. And now Rolling Thunder in the back. They're going to go for a cheeky defuse, but no, you got to check that. Lug Lumpy, not able to get a defuse on in time. Hayes pops out. And he's going to be able to get to Team Solo Mid. They evade the upsets and map
in the past. And with TSM not changing anything on their agent composition, I'm more inclined to think that TSM will be able to be a little more confident, a little more dominant here against LGI now.
Yeah, that's a good thing, right? At least in a game like this, they actually just want to keep up the pace. They just don't want to lose on any of the confidence that they've got, because early round upset potential has been really big throughout the VCT period. You can't really stay complacent. So them staying around almost literally the same comp that they've ran twice before. Jerome actually playing up on the Rays. He's actually played Phoenix once, and that ended up working out for TSM. At least looking over towards the LGI side, they're actually going to maintain Snake on the Breach, which again, not a bad idea on Icebox by any means. Still playing up the Sage though, a little bit weirder of an idea, but even weirder, actually a pick that we saw a little bit more actually from Envy is actually the Cypher pick from Hydro.
Yeah, so Cypher has definitely been a very strange pick for a lot of teams, right? Normally, this was a map that was infamously known for you have to play Killjoy. You need to play Killjoy. But then teams like Envy, like you mentioned, and Gen G in particular, come along, la-di-da-di-da. They use Cypher. They make it work. So I'm curious to see how LGI and what they have in their strat book. The Breach pick is a little bit wonky, at least. Breach is efficient on almost every single map, but Icebox with all those nooks and crannies, so many twists and turns, his utility at least becomes a little more minimized in a sense. So I'm curious to see, again, what LGI have. I said that about them there on Vine, but what are they going to do here against a team that has been formidable in the past on Icebox? Well, it's going to start here with Danny Seal getting aggressive super early on.
Yeah, he even missed out on the dash, but it is what it is. Still ended up getting the kill into Wardell, traded out by Sabrosa. But that's a lot of early info. Again, they don't exactly have the Sova just to try to launch out an early recon dart. So potentially a little bit more damage could have been done, but at least their goal now, just getting a trade back and getting all the bodies over towards the A site. Now they're here. Now they're ready to fight.
Drone putting a lot of pressure. This is the normal TSM take. Put up a lot of focus on the left side. Let Drone try and run it up here. And Drone, he's found himself a nice spot perched on top of the double box. The fault line does end up connecting. That's where that utility can be so versatile. It has infinite verticality. And now Drone, though, they think that he's off that position, but Drone doesn't move. A stone statue up top. And now with 3 versus 2, as Drone will get cut down. Hydro's been big all series long. And now they've got a chance in a 2v2.
So Sabrosa playing very aggressive off the post, plant and secrets.
Last player
He
standing.
would only realistically have one opportunity for a kill onto Sabrosa, but he goes back in what would be actually a double coverage with Hayes getting a kill back onto site. Very unfortunate to the end of things, how that 2v2 ended up working out, but the fact that they even made it to the 2v2 is already very formidable.
Yeah, close again from LGI. I like the positions. Obviously, they didn't think that Drone would still be up top on the double stack. So just one small thing again. LGI, minor mistakes can be tweaked and fixed up as no full buy coming in, right? Ever since the nerf stingers are maybe a little bit out of everyone's pocket. They don't want to invest that extra 100 credits. So TSM, full buy here, not holding anything back. Spectres and Bulldogs. And here's the default. Turret towards A, but look at the pressure from mid here by LGI. As they get 3 players grouped up in a single smoke, and they now have the information that it is going to be a B play. You check that nobody's there. That smoke is just to keep them on their toes. When you press that issue, now you've got the gamble right for you. 4 players here, 5 actually, if you want to consider Danny Steele, who was in such close proximity. This is a real threat for TSM now.
It surely is. Nobody flanking over towards that A position. That turret is going to get at least that little bit of information. Hayes still watching that mid rotation, but even then LGI, they try to fight on the initial contact, but it's just Sabrosa mowing through. Going to be able to get 3. Just taking it bit by bit. TSM, that was a little bit easier for them, but LGI, they actually had a decent setup early on.
Yeah, nice and super clean from TSM, but LGI, if they can keep up that tempo, I think of contesting mid pretty heavily, it could definitely go in their way, because TSM, they're not necessarily a team that always likes to commit. They'll once, maybe in a blue moon, not necessarily a blue moon, but they'll infrequently, right? They'll keep a player down towards mid. And when you have the dynamic of that Sage wall going up, LGI, you can really focus all your attention to the core portion of middle and get flanks going, try and cause a commotion for TSM. And that's what they're doing here. Early pressure down. Danny Steele's going to try and beat out the wall now. And look at his push already. It's him versus Sabrosa. The flash doesn't connect, and Sabrosa's got the free frag.
Oh, that wall too. I've actually been missed out a little bit. Oh,
I think that's just a fake. So I think the wall is just a sound, so you can just slip on through.
Oh, for sure. You definitely wanted to get up at least at control. I mean, definitely might have worked out. Especially if Sabrosa wasn't ready for it, but, well, it doesn't. It is what it is. LGI now. 1 person remaining. It's going to be Hydro now on a 1v5. Had a rifle up, but it doesn't matter. TSM, this is almost exactly the form that we were expecting out of this round of play.
Yeah, nice early 3-0 start. No troubles just yet. That mid play, it's a good idea, right? The flash, but Sabrosa is very quick to read. If that flash had maybe gone, I think, on the side to the right, it would have been a lot more effective, but Danny Steele has to take the fight downrange before he swings that corner, so just not prepared for it. TSM resetting LGI here as they look to pick up a 4th. You don't expect many troubles. However, the Sheriff's long range and the extremities that TSM have been battling and LGI have been looking to contest makes this still a lethal round. However, slow and steady has been the name of the game as TSM assert dominance out towards B main with pressure, slight pressure with a mid smoke. Sabrosa's just going to check it. He pays to lurk on A. And there is no one here from LGI. Cam's broken. Trips to try and delay, but rotations, they are mid. They need to go quick now.
Yeah, Hydro. Only has a Marshall at this point. Does have a couple of tripwires on site. Any sort of cage or wall would actually help out a little bit. Actually, headshot through the wall from Danny Steele as he fades away. Decent from Hydra. If he stays behind that wall, that could have actually been pretty efficient, but good takeaway of the tripwire. Just taking up their time and actually getting the spike plant on Peely because, again, they still don't have the information of who could be on site. Hayes does take down Danny Steele. Still one about to go for the wide swing. It's actually Snake potentially going for a trade back. Good flash. That might actually open up for a frag, and indeed it does, but still Drone and Cutler back with 2. Just a 2-on-4. Full spike plant. Hydra, he's been in this position essentially all round. Snake 1v4 with a Sheriff. Could potentially get some economic damage, but the round is done and dusted.
It's more or less TSM just playing super cautious, going into sites. Hayes able to catch the late lurk and ensuring that his team can safely get onto the site without having to worry about that flank. So TSM, now they have to go against the Rifles once more, but it hasn't been all too successful for LGI. Everyone only netting 1 kill. Only an accumulative 4 deaths for TSM so far. That is not the best of looks if you are LGI, but hopefully they can maybe change things up here. As pressure towards B, flash in a fault line to contest Drone here. He'll be full blinded. He's got to concede early. Double flash. I love that combo. And they've taken control now. TSM almost fully committed now to the B site as 1 mid lurk is all they've got in the form of Subrosa. This A site severely weakened though from LGI as cages will go up to try and delay, but Hayes has slipped through into 1. And it is Hydra in the back maintaining the right side of sight.
Spike planted.
They might fight this one out. A little bit better of a position. LGI grouping up 3 over towards the back flank, but nobody from TSM is actually playing that off the post plant.
Oh my
Trying
god,
to
what?
fight this one up. Yep. There you go. Okay, trigger discipline, but then again, LGI, most of their bodies coming out from the very center of sight. Lug Lumpy gonna be able to get one on. Still Hayes right in the middle of the smoke with a paranoia too, but he's nearsighted. Snake could have stuck it, but Secret's still gonna be able to get the frag back. Subrosa now, paranoia, but Secret gets it back. Oh, again, Snake could have actually won that round up just a little bit earlier on, but they had no idea where Subrosa would be. LGI, however, with a combination of some cheeky positions and some pretty intense scenarios, they still win out the round.
I'll be honest, this round was extremely confusing. So many positional mishaps, right? Danny Steele getting into the back. The 2 flankers are the first ones on the site, essentially, and the Secrets come from the back of spawn. I mean, the round works out for LGI. Props to them, but geez, that one was confusing. Now they're close to completion on the Rolling Thunder. 1 ult orb is all they need, and they might be looking to fight once more down towards B. Now TSM, that pressure, all of a sudden, it's been pulled off. Danny Steele sitting around the corner. He's going to try and bait his teammates. Can he get one here? It's Drone. Trade back. Danny Steele needs to get out of there. There's not much he can do else. There are 2 more players all waiting. Bolt's not going to get any more info. He's playing the knowledge game, and he's got so much of it. Danny Steele with a huge second frag, but Wardell already on the flank with no mid control. It's Hydra that needs to bail his teammate out, but even then, 2 versus 2. Lockdown for the post plan if they want to. And it's LGI here that have the HP advantage, and Hydra with the positional advantage.
Ooh, Hayes, however, fast and furious. Posts up, actually gets a kill back, so 1v2.
And no revive.
And Hayes,
in the last.
Okay, so even on the 1v2, still gonna put up a lockdown. So that's, again, that's just that insurance policy where they're gonna be able to get that plant down easy peasy after the time runs out. Yeah, I think that's just the smart move, right? Just maintain things fairly safe. LGI's economy still isn't the best either, but what? Secrets, the timing on this could be huge, but Wardell has the angle. Good coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tricky position of your Secrets. He tosses a slow orb to at least fake presence that he's coming from spawn in the hopes that he can maybe get there in time and catch them off, but doesn't work out. This positioning from Danny Steele needed to go big, and had Hydro gotten the kill onto Hayes once more, this could have been a different round, but a huge shot from Hayes, swinging out wide. Doesn't get better than that if you are the TSM guys. 5-1, keeping things clean so far. As LGI,
Deep breath.
now they definitely have some worries. Not the best utility, not the best firepower, but they do hold on to a major ult. That Rolling Thunder can be big, and they're going for early pressure. It was Snake, I guess, faking the pressure, if you will. Throws 2 flashpoints out, then immediately concedes, and Hydro could have a headshot here, but he does end up missing. They will drop to the low ground. TSM on their doorstep. You have Sabrosa still watching that flank, and Drone trying to go big off the double blast back. Great movement to get into the back lines. They've got full control, and LGI will be playing the retake now.
Again, wonderful space. That's all you really want out of your duelists. Both players in the back line. Wardell, he's the one to get that first pick. Off the back catwalk rotation. So 4 players hounding around. Not only that, but TSM, they actually do have a rotation. They do actually have a flank going in towards the mid side, but Secret's good kill back onto Wardell. Drone, this is a wonderful position. Could just be a mop up, and indeed he is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could potentially get it. Pulls out the sidearm. There you go. Drone from TSM. Pulling out a little bit of a farm at the end of things.
And he gets 4 kills to charge back up that ultimate. So he used the showstopper in that round, and then he gets 4 kills back to charge it up. Big play from Drone coming in. A simple round for TSM. Fake pressure from the side of LGI to try and at least push TSM back to the B site where they had full B main control. LGI doesn't work out. TSM don't fall into the bait, but still that rolling thunder is what eludes TSM. They haven't been able to bait it out just yet in rounds that really aren't too much of a trouble. So LGI still having that in their back pocket could be huge. Now, a little bit more of a peculiar setup where I think they're trying to ready up that rolling thunder towards this B side, given the positioning that Secrets has been taken alongside the Jet and the Breach. And he still sits in the cover though, and TSM, they have full B control, but that rolling thunder, it's already charged up, ready and raring to go, as TSM might need a bailout here. Drone, maybe he can shut it down. Back turn, there's 1, there's 2, no! Only just a single frag, but they know where 2 players are, and they know where the Breach is most importantly, but he gets shut down. Wardell can't win the fight. It's Sabrosa in the back lines, and the A site completely open, but there's 1 player watching that one. There's 1 player that can cut things down, and it's Cutler that's got to make a risky move on over.
Oh, there it is. Essentially dry, trying to make his way forward, but again, Sabrosa, in we go. Has a little bit of a lineup, gets himself 2, has a 3rd opportunity up in the kitchen area, but it's Snake back to get the frag. 2v2 and Hazed putting up all the util possible, but look at this setup now. Rolling Thunder. Once LGI clears out the back of sight, this could be fully theirs.
Yeah, right, and a paranoia as well to force them back after the rolling thunder. This is a huge setup for LGI, and TSM are banking on that utility. The nanostorms on the site, they're going to spot the first. The nanostorm does go off, so that's not going to keep them off it for too long. LGI can tag this whenever they want. You're right, Hunter Seer didn't even realize, where's that rolling thunder coming? Not just yet. The tag goes in, and it's down to just 1. This is such unfortunate positioning if you're Snake. You can get out with 1, maybe if he's lucky. But not even that. TSM 7-1, keeping things clean once more. But again, LGI is still making these rounds pretty close.
Yeah, you got to stay preemptive there, especially if you're playing against a KJ on a post plant. I mean, always got to clear out Spike in terms of nano swarms, and just weren't able to do so. Hazed, he plays up time on that. Not only that, but Snake, I don't even know if that was his intention either to even go for the rolling thunder. It just sounds like a really good idea, but still LGI not able to really instill the right flow of steps in a sense to really win that one out.
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to use it there. It would have been so beneficial. You can get the Killjoy util off, and then you only have to face the Hunter Seer, which is just a matter of luck. You have much better odds in that instance. Ooh, clean shot from Wardell though. Puts down Danny Steele on the Blade Storm, and he can get a little bit more here. Let's find a second until Lugalumpy. Now, where's the trade back? No one from LGI swinging, and Wardell quelling this aggression. Has got 3 players to deal with, and Sabrosa, if need be, is there to assist. He's on a flank with the B side open, and they have these players completely trapped now, as Drone is watching this one as well.
Although it could be light work for him, but relatively far away. Yeah, no, just bail out of that. If you don't get that first contact, or
wait for
just get that first frag anyways, it's all good. And it's, well, like you mentioned, Sabrosa is still chilling. Okay, Drone. The blast packs he wanted to get on top of 2, but it was a little bit flubbed. He still ended up getting the kill back. It is what it is. More importantly, actually, Sabrosa ended up going down in that whole exchange. And I don't know how we missed this, Sully, but it was a 7-1 last round. Kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a 8-2 here. Who knows? He's only 1 off of now the lockdown. And honestly, TSM, they really haven't even need to draw out on the lockdown. The only times they've used it have been in like 2v2s, 1vx's, and stuff like that. So Hayes, you can get it early on here. They're probably going to fight for the orb here. And we'll see what LGI attempt as a resistance. Danny Steele, the lone warrior on the B site with the operator, is going to try and hold it down. 2 players congested towards middle. Secrets holding the cross into alt mid. And Sabrosa slipping on through. The smoke is about to fade here, but he's going to try and take this fight off a no flash. So dry from TSM Sabrosa, and Sabrosa doubling down. Now look what that's done. Danny Steele's got to stick around on the B side in case Sabrosa still wants to cut off rotations, but Snake is fighting back, and same thing with Hydro. It's a 3 versus 3, and TSM maybe thinking better of the A bomb site now.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade
And
out.
is that same decent setup, but Haste already have fun trying to fight, but of course that trip actually opens him up. Snake using that timing, gonna be able to get the frag back. But now, okay, this is where things really start to get weird. Look where Danny is at the moment.
Yeah.
Early over in B main, off this post plan. I think they are just trying to take up more of kitchen control, which again totally evades Danny Steele. But they have to fight Hydro here, and they just missed out on a whole
got no
bunch
idea,
of
though.
control. Zero
Look at this
idea.
post plant. Sabrosa, he's got the gateway as well. And the fact that Snake doesn't even catch him off, Sabrosa could win this, but the smoke already on, but so much time being bought off. The op watching as well. He's trying to fake them out now. He's going to make the jump. He's got one. He could win this one out. 2 players and one is on low HP. One's got the up. Out comes a classic, but Sabrosa missing the window of opportunity. It's slammed shut in his face, and LGI have opened themselves up to a second round now.
Yeah, such a rough post plan, but that's a perfect angle for that spike in general. So, I mean, decent idea, but TSM, the execution wasn't exactly the best. Again, you got to give it up to that early pick, or at least that initial pick off the 2v3 by Hydra. I mean, that's really what opened up the round in terms of what would have been that retake.
I mean, Sabrosa, if he has 10 extra, not even 10, maybe like 5 extra bullets, he could have so easily taken down Danny Steele. And then a single blow off the classic would have shut down Snake. It's unfortunate there, at least for the side of TSM, but they still have a confident lead. We get what we asked for. 8-2 now is Drone. Early blast back up. Great movement to avoid that shot. And Wardell even taking and capitalizing on space towards mid, but he's got one on his back. Lug Lumpy applying a little bit of pressure, but a TP from Zabroza in the back. This is a sandwich here on the B side, and Wardell needs to pick up this frag. He will get it onto Danny Steele, but Snake is right there to trade, but he doesn't catch him. The smoke keeping him alive, and Wardell is still evading him. Zabroza's here as well to cut rotations and even maybe find a flank.
No, he spotted one. I think he also saw him too, and he's got the angle. Atta boy, Lug. Oh, Snake takes one back too. 3v4 for the boys at TSM. Good lineup at least, but Drones, he's not worried at all. But now he is. The Rolling Thunder comes in huge. Lug Lumpy takes him back. Couple of players in the back of sight. You do have a little bit of util. The lockdown going out at a perfect time, but Cutler with the 1-2 combo, and the lockdown is gonna take down Hydro. Now, oh boy, look how much HP Lug has, man. It's just ridiculous. A 4v2 turns into a 2v-none. Cutler pulls off a 4K at the end of things.
I cannot believe Cutler dances around that box perfectly, and you see the commitment as well. That lockdown kept them alive. Hydro tried to press forward. They could have set up with a paranoia, but time not on their side. Huge play off of that lockdown. That's the biggest thing. And Cutler, a phenomenal pivot as well to find secrets. That is not a kill. You should be able to let up there for your secrets. You got to be so frustrated, as that should have been a third round. LGI against all odds now. It's 9-2 to close out this half. They're looking for at least a third, but TSM, the way they've been playing, it might just be a 10th, and they're going for a fast play into the A site. Wardell with the one, Hydro on the trade, but what can he do more with just a Marshall? There's the blast back. Drone clearing out the site, is going to get the kill. Another one drops as Sabrosa finds Lumpy, and it's down to just 2. Secrets has a revive, but that's even if he can get to a body.
Spike planted.
All those corpses just strewn throughout that A main area. Can't exactly make his way through. He has to make his way through brute force, but Sabrosa. And that's just clean. Had 2 targets to focus up on, and Sabrosa takes down both. 10-2 half. TSM on a little bit more comfortable of a map, at least as of recent history. Only pulling out what we expected from them.
Yeah, this is the map that you expect them to not have those close rounds like they did on Bind. They've definitely been stomping over LGI on both sides, playing rotations perfectly, drawing towards mid. Sabrosa's TP as well, committed in the back sites and even into spawn. This is what you wanted from TSM, and while they are delivering on all fronts here on Icebox. Now, LGI, they have at least, I guess, the more custom side of the attacking. It's definitely a little more confusing for your defender to play against the attack, so we'll see if they can get something going, but everyone says it starts with a pistol, but this time it truly does. 5-player push is already. Cutler's got info, no one out towards B main, and now it's a matter of time before Drone makes this rotation. Sabrosa primed with a paranoia, but there's one flashpoint back already. There's the swing, but only one kill exchange for both sides as Lug Lumpy actually favors the odds back to LGI now.
Okay, decent from Lug. Sabrosa.
Look at that spike. That is in such a
That
tricky
nerf
position to pick
frenzy,
up.
but it's so awkward. It's on top of tube too. Almost nobody can get to it at this point. Hydro does take down Sabrosa again, 2v2. Somehow trying to get to it. They did not need to updraft there, but you know, it is what it is. They wanted to get it as quickly as possible. Danny Steele is out of there, but it's actually maintaining Hydro in that same position. Hydro could come up big, potentially with a little bit of noise. He makes any sort of noise here, that's at least the spike plant down, but he's the one with the full HP. He could be the Guardian for the rest of this round. Any sort of exits would be so optimal, but he's actually running. Doesn't even want to clear sight. Both players are still here. Danny Steele now going for a little bit cheekier of a post plant position, trying to fight this immediately in mid. Only 20 HP left on the man. And he hears both. Oh, there you go! Line up for Danny Steele!
Easy.
Let's get it, LGI! Third round for them, and Danny Steele. I mean, I said that Hydro could have been a Guardian, but this guy's the one with the ice in his veins.
Outplay after outplay. Danny Steele, that positioning was massive. TSM, no one in their right minds would think that someone in Danny Steele's position wants to be that aggressive. I mean, TSM made the read. They had the idea that Hydro, or at least someone, could have been lurking back on that A site. They read it correctly. Then Danny Steele probably would have been one of the bigger plays of this entire series as they stave off at 11th for TSM and a possible 12th. But now things are changing here. It's TSM. They like to at least half buy into this one, push what they can. Wardell in particular spending 1,900 into this one after buying the Sheriff in the last. It's Hayes who can get forward. He will get the ult orb. And that Bucky from Wardell, it wasn't able to do much in the first map, and it can't do much here as well as he's shut down. Drone's still in a smoke. They've got all the info in the world, and Drone has found one through a smoke, 3 versus 3, and rotation coming in from Hayes to at least give him the numbers to at least battle against LGI now.
Stealing sight.
Paranoia, malplaced, but it's at least going to clear out a big angle, and not only that, but double coverage of that same spot. Cutler still goes down, but Drone still holding it down. Nano Swarm 2, it evades that default position, and Drone with yet another one. Hydro now 1v2, winnable to say the least with a Spectre. As long as this isn't a crossfire. No, it isn't. Has to hard clear this angle. Indeed, he dies, but Drone again! So clean with the Sheriff shots. Headshots only here, Sully.
That's what you want. Drone comes alive. 4-piece off the Sheriff. I mean, come on, TSM. That's all you need really to get that 11th round. LGI, they'll be kicking themselves. Drone played so cheekily there as well. Sat in smokes, and that recon bolt from Cutler was massive to give them that round. Had the recon bolt not gone off, Drone doesn't find 2 of those kills. And next thing you know, LGI have the advantage once more, but TSM keeping things alive, or at least in the early stages, they've always been in the lead. 11-3 now as LGI. How are they going to try and recover here? If you lose this round, it could be lights out. Danny Steele's looking for this ult orb, but he's already lost so much HP off of a shock dart, and now Sabrosa getting aggressive. Oh!
Ooh.
Shut down by Lug Lumpy.
Get out of
Let's
my
give them
way.
the advantage, and now the Blade Storm online. There are 2 players here, Hazed and Drone, to watch the cross.
Oh, Danny Steele. Using up a singular one of those knives just to see if he could try his luck. TSM going all in on the B defense. Again, they have no information over towards the mid side, so they're at least keeping attention at the least. Everyone from LGI slowly but surely making their way up A. TSM barely with enough time to really kind of regain control. Good smoke over towards the left side, but that does give a little bit more space for these players to actually pop out, but they're not going for it. They're going to go for a full retake, Sully.
Oh, Danny Steele revealed that recon vault again. Huge play off of it. Sabrosa, or apologies, Wardell was hoping to get something off of his body, but nothing there for him. Now, TSM, though, despite already Danny Steele going down, they've got really good post-plant positions here, LGI. But as I say that, Hayes comes in swinging. It doesn't matter what post-plant positions you've got. If you don't have the guns, it's not going to work. But Lug Lumpy to the rescue. 2 big kills and nearly another. Finds the 4th onto Cutler, but Drone immediately there for the trade. Keeping it close, LGI, but not enough to keep TSM off of 12.
Oh, man, I just like the fact that TSM just threw bodies over towards that back line. Wardell, confident as always. And, oh, again, Lug. So good at that denial. But, again, this guy is actually starting to heat up a little bit. We saw glimpses of what was his aiming potential throughout map number 1. And now here on Icebox, at least in a game where at least this team isn't doing all too great, he's still been able to have a couple of really good highlight plays. That's good for the Twitter clips.
Definitely. TSM, though, 1 round away to take the series 2-0. After a very shaky start on Bind, it's a really nice recovery. Flashes go the way of both Drone and Danny Steele, as they're both caught blind, and TSM, all that confidence they've got, well, they're going to send it straight down in the pushes.
Right there.
Early pressure towards mid. Unfortunately, Wardell is ultimately going to get punished. Now, it's Hayes to try and pick up where Drone left off. He's going to hold down towards B main. Sabrosa has no info towards A. So, LGI, deprivation of information. Flashes go both ways. Secret's full blinded, but it does at least force out a smoke. That will draw some attention. Boost up over as well. He's trying to get the height advantage here as TSM, they slowly but surely back away. There are only 2 players committed, and this round is pretty scary, but Drone does have a bailout card. He's got the showstopper, but now LGI have a revive.
Ooh. Lug Lumpy, but there goes that revive like you mentioned. But oh, that showstopper, such a perfect spot, and Drone is still fragging. Getting a 3rd onto Secrets, but good spot from Danny Steele. Again, because of that revive.
30 seconds left.
Been in that position for a while, but now a lockdown to shut down the hope of Danny Steele.
Do they have time?
Making his way on, and that's a solo lockdown too. The rest of TSM, because of this space being made, just because of this pressure, they could just maintain their spaces or maintain their spots throughout the rest of the map. Less rotations, and not only that, but chunking off so much time. 10 seconds, 8 seconds. No, they just don't have time. They just don't. They have to get the spike down in this smoke, but it's over, folks. Let's get it. LGI, they put up their best efforts against one of the better teams in NA, but TSM, they're still able to eke away a 2-0 win.
Yeah, that lockdown really did seal the deal. You have no info towards the A side. You have to make that gamble. You make